Well, in news that's just coming in, Priyanka Gandhi has praised the Prime Minister in Munshiganj in Amethi, where she is to campaign for Rahul Gandhi. She's in fact called the Prime Minister a super Prime Minister. We'll in fact try and play out that exact comment by Priyanka Gandhi in Amethi just a short while earlier. She was speaking to the reporters where she has praised the Prime Minister. In fact, she's called him a super Prime Minister. This at a time when two books have been out recently which have been very critical of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh.
BJP is saying it's a sign of desperation that finally she had to give that televised speech.
Please say.
How do you react? How do you react?
That's because they don't like what she says.
Mr. Badwan's book.
It's very clear what this election is. This is a fight for the heart of India. And they don't like to hear that.
But Sanjay Baru's book has been very embarrassing because a super Prime Minister image is the last question. Mr. Baru, respond to that, please. Mr. Baru's book has the BJP saying that Mrs. Gandhi became a super Prime Minister. How do you respond?
I think Manmohan Singh ji has been a super Prime.
Well, Gaurav Sawant is with us on the phone line. In fact, has been tracking Priyanka Gandhi in Amethi. He's joining us from there at the moment. Just describe to us in detail what exactly were Priyanka Gandhi's comments there. This is perhaps the first time that anyone from the Gandhi family has spoken out about those two books that have been written about the Prime Minister, which have been really critical of his tenure.
Well, very cryptic. The question that was put to Priyanka Gandhi was the Prime Minister has been described as someone who's very weak, not the power center in the government, and the power center was elsewhere. So on the criticism that the Prime Minister is facing, and from an insider, Sanjay Baru, who was the Prime Minister's former media advisor, Priyanka Gandhi, when this question was put to her, she just turned around and said, no, he's not weak, he's a super Prime Minister. That is all, that she said, turned around and went away. Within the Congress party, there is an effort by at least some to say that the Prime Minister was not weak, that the Prime Minister was the one who was actually calling all the shots, whether it is, the coal block allocation or several other issues. Whereas Sanjay Baru in his book has categorically written that Pulak Chatterjee, the IAS officer was, the go-between between 10 Janpath and 7 Racecourse Road, indicating that all files duly went to 10 Janpath for vetting, and a direction came from 10 Janpath on what was to be done, and T.K. Nair, the Prime Minister's principal secretary, was working in very close coordination with, Pulak Chatterjee and 10 Janpath, but goes on to indicate that the Prime Minister's authority was being undermined. This is a charge that Priyanka Gandhi has refuted.
All right, let's in fact again listen into that brief interaction that Priyanka Gandhi had with the reporters there in Amethi, backing the Prime Minister, calling him a super Prime Minister.
BJP is saying it's a sign of desperation that finally she had to give that televised speech.
Please say.
How do you react? How do you react?
That's because they don't like what she says.
Mr. Badwan's book.
It's very clear what this election is. This is a fight for the heart of India. And they don't like to hear that.
But Sanjay Baru's book has been very embarrassing because a super Prime Minister image is the last question. Mr. Baru, respond to that, please. Mr. Baru's book has the BJP saying that Mrs. Gandhi became a super Prime Minister. How do you respond?
I think Manmohan Singh ji has been a super Prime.
All right, so there you heard it, that comment from Priyanka Gandhi calling Prime Minister Manmohan Singh the super Prime Minister of the country. This at a time when there have been two books that have been released just last week, have been really critical of the Prime Minister and his functioning, how he had abdicated his responsibility and his role, and how real authority lied with 10 Janpath and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. Gaurav Sawant there reporting from Amethi on these comments that have just come in from Priyanka. And as I was saying earlier, Gaurav, this is perhaps the first time that anyone from the Gandhi family has now directly taken on the question, the questions that have been raised in these two books.
With a cryptic comment, what journalists are expecting or what journalists are hoping for is perhaps a more detailed interaction or a response on this subject, but that we are still waiting for. Priyanka Gandhi at this moment is speaking to all the block presidents and all the district workers of the Amethi parliamentary constituency. This is quite an uphill battle this time. While, the previous elections, it was a cakewalk for Rahul Gandhi. He won with a massive margin of 3,77,000 votes against his nearest BSP rival. This time, there are two challengers. One, Kumar Vishwas of the Aam Aadmi Party, who I spoke to earlier this morning, who insists that he has a sizable following, and Smriti Irani, the BJP vice president, who's also been campaigning extensively in Amethi. Some Congress party insiders are saying the fact
There I
that
request you to hold your thought. I think BJP's Sambit Patra is on the phone line with us right now. Mr. Patra, your first reactions to Priyanka Gandhi's defense of the Prime Minister when she was questioned about those two books, one of Mr. P.C. Parakh and the other of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's media advisor, Sanjay Baru. She has responded by saying that Manmohan Singh has been the super Prime Minister of this country.
Look, ironically, this is what shows and reveals the knowledge that Priyanka ji holds in Indian politics. I believe when the whole world, in fact, is searching for where the Indian Prime Minister is, when the elections of India are at hot swings, ironically, the Prime Minister is missing. But here is a Gandhi scion who says that he is a super Prime Minister. This itself shows that Priyanka ji is not in sync with the Indian truth.
Right. So the statement, do you think the statement that has come from Priyanka Gandhi won't cut much ice with the electorate either, because she hasn't said anything to back her statement? It's just a statement that has been just put on record, because so far none from the Gandhi family had come forward in the defense of the Prime Minister.
Look, aside, leaving aside as to cutting ice, ironically, in fact, Mr. Manmohan Singh has been forgotten well before he remits his office as the Prime Minister of this country. So when he's addressed as Super Prime Minister, the people of this country will only imagine Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, who in fact has been taking all the shots and calls when the Prime Ministership was under Mr. Manmohan Singh.
Sambit Patra of the BJP, thank you very much for joining us. The BJP clearly rubbishing these claims of Priyanka Gandhi, saying this is not going to influence the electorate, this is not going to win the argument, because there are several questions that have been raised in the wake of the release of these two books.